Hi, I'm here to talk about Batman Returns. I love Batman Returns. It's a film that meant a lot to me growing up. I thought it was so cool. And after having lots of time to reflect on the film and plenty of opportunities to rewatch the film, I think that it really holds up. If anything, I think I like it even more than I did growing up. Uh, the Joker was a character that meant so much to me that it was hard to have a fully amazing Batman film without him. I thought it was possible to have really good, fun films I like rewatching without him, but it was hard to be one of the best without him. But I still love Batman Returns, and after having time to think about how much I love Batman's villains overall and not just the Joker, I think that's helped me appreciate Batman Returns on a bigger level than before. Um, a lot of why I love Batman comes from Batman and his villains, a combination. And I think that Batman Returns actually works very well as an ensemble film between Batman and his enemies. The film has a little bit less screen time for Batman than I would normally expect from a Batman film, but to me, it doesn't feel like Batman's barely in the film. It still feels like there's plenty of scenes where he gets to feel like the lead, plenty of scenes of him working hard to figure out what the villains are doing, uh, plenty of good interactions with the different characters, lots of moments of him uh, stopping what the villains are up to, lots of great action scenes, lots of great scenes for Bruce Wayne. It does feel like a very great showcase of Batman's coolness. I love Michael Keaton so much in Batman, the 1989 film. I also love him so much in Batman Returns. I think that Batman Returns is such an exciting film. Quite possibly the most visually impressive and stylish superhero film that's ever been made. And that's quite the compliment, particularly considering that the Penguin's not exactly the most charming looking guy, but um, what was done for the character of the Penguin is actually really impressive. I actually do think he looks really cool when he's in his costume and stuff. Danny DeVito, very entertaining as the Penguin. Amazing choice for the role. The take that's done for the Penguin, much different take on the Penguin than I'm used to. And I think it works specifically for Batman Returns. It's not what I would want the Penguin to normally be, but I think it's a brilliant take on the Penguin for Batman Returns. And I love Michelle Pfeiffer as Catwoman. I think that there are times where Catwoman feels a little bit lacking in comparison to how entertaining some of the other villains are. Where like in the 1960s show and film, I think that Catwoman has a lot of talent from the actresses, but um, I feel like as a character, Catwoman's not as much fun as Joker, Penguin, and Riddler in the show and the 1966 movie. Uh, but in Batman Returns, Catwoman is very entertaining. She does feel like on the same level as fun to watch as a lot of the other villains, and Michelle Pfeiffer felt very definitive as Catwoman. If anything, I feel like Batman Returns improved the character in a lot of ways and helped her feel very multi layered and a great mix of a character that's tragic but has a little bit of a villainous side, a character where at times I feel sorry for it, other times where she's going too far, and it really got the nuance of the character right in a great way. Christopher Walken is very entertaining as the other villain, and with Penguin and Catwoman doing all this stuff, Christopher Walken's character could have very much felt like an afterthought or generic evil businessman, but he's actually uh, a really entertaining in the film, and I really like what he brings. He actually is in the film a lot, feels like one of the four main characters along with Batman, Penguin, and Catwoman, and he's really good and adds a lot to the film. Michael Goth, wonderful as Alfred. Pat Ingles, Commissioner Gordon, it feels like he got even less to do than in Batman 1889, which is unfortunate. I do like him not believing that Batman's guilty, though. I think that's at least good. I think that Batman Returns has a really good story and a really good focus on the morality of the four main characters, where Batman, Penguin, and Catwoman are all treated like outcasts, while Christopher Walken's character is treated well by the public, but actually a bad guy. And I feel like he parallels well to Batman, who is kind of treated like he's a bit questionable, but is a hero, and Bruce Wayne is treated well and is actually a good person. And there's Penguin, who was treated badly by his parents and was starting to be treated well by the public, but turned out to be very evil. And there's Catwoman, who kind of isn't as heroic as Batman, but is more sympathetic and morally responsible than Penguin or Christopher Walken's character. So there's an interesting different balance of nuance of morality, and then even Batman himself, where he is the closest thing the film has to a true hero, but he does some questionable things and some things I wouldn't normally expect Batman to do, with the way he treats some of the villain henchmen. I think it's awesome in the context of the film. I love it, but it's not what I normally want Batman to be. But for Tim Burton's brilliant take on Batman and for the interesting comparisons of morality between the main characters, I think it works. Where they're all flawed, but they're flawed in different levels. It's not a simple Batman's a good guy and Penguin and Catwoman are just evil. There's lots more to it than that. And I think that's great. And even Christopher Walken's character has just a tiny bit of morality, where he was willing to sacrifice his own safety for his son. And I think that adds a little bit of personality to him. So I feel like all four of the lead characters have a lot going for them. I feel like they're all brilliantly portrayed by their performers, so that's great. And I love that it has a very small group of characters where it's very much focused on those four. And then Alfred, thankfully, has a good role. And then a lot of the other characters feel a little bit throwaway, but some of them are still fun. Like some of Penguin's people working for him, like the organ grinder and the poodle lady, they have some fun moments, and part of me wishes they were in the film more, but other part of me is glad the film feels very focused on the main characters. And oftentimes I get tired of romance and superhero films. That was a big complaint for me with Batman Mask of the Phantasm, but Bruce and Selina in Batman Returns are so entertaining to watch and have such fascinating interactions with each other that I actually like their romance storyline, and I like it where they both have a lot of qualities that can make the other seem confused, not simple. Like one is acting how someone would expect, the other one's doing some stuff that would surprise somebody. They both have a lot of surprising moments, so I really enjoy that, and their interactions are very, very solid. The music is incredible. The action scenes are amazing. Batman Returns really does hold up well, and I feel like there's very little to complain about. Like, I wish that Batman and Gordon were a little bit closer, like I also wish with the 1989 film. Would have liked a few more lines for Organ Grinder and Poodle Lady, but like aside from small little things like that, I feel like there's very little about the movie that I personally feel like complain about, and I can understand if other people don't like Batman Returns' take on the characters. I think that's perfectly fair. But I wanted to express my full, honest opinions about Batman Returns, and I love it. I think it's a brilliant masterpiece of a film, like Batman 1889, a fantastic sequel. Still one of the best superhero movie sequels, in my opinion, and it's a film that I incredibly love.